Welcome back to Tyria, fellow warriors, magicians, and explorers. Well, it's time for Wintersday, once again. Time to get lots of presents and maybe drink a bit too much. Now, if you're worried that sentient toys are going to rise up and fight you to the death, you probably shouldn't. But, hit like and subscribe, or dislike. Anyway, just in case. As a warning, this video contains spoilers for the story of Guild Wars 2. Alright, let's get into it. Many cultures across many worlds, in many universes we explore, exist on planets and planes that have seasonal changes. Wintertime here on Round Worlds is the season in which our axial tilt causes some parts of the planet to receive less sunlight and experience colder temperatures. In places where magic is the guiding force behind the turning of the wheels of the world, these changes could be caused by any number of things. One thing is clear though. Through some kind of multiversal resonance, so many of these universes experience similar changes at around the same time. Strange. Tyria and the surrounding lands are no different in this respect, and the winters there are very much like our own. And so the seasonal festivals often carry the same themes. Celebrations during midwinter to bring happiness to the coldest and darkest of times, giving of gifts and feasting, too much drink and a lot of fun. There are many cultures that call these lands their home, and most of them have had some form of festival around this season in one way or another, but today, Wintersday is celebrated, from the loneliest mountain peak to the busiest of port cities. These traditions are rather more specific. Where did they come from? How have they become so widely adopted in central Tyria and in the lands beyond? As long as the mountains have stood tall over the distant lands below, there's been life and magic flowing through the air and earth of Tyria. As life flourished, time came to be counted and patterns laid down among those who existed here. In the Movilian calendar of Tyria, the festival of Wintersday marks the end of the harshest season of the year, known as the Season of the Colossus, associated with the god Grenth. The festival ends with the change into the Season of the Zephyr, associated with Dwayna. In the time when the six gods of the human pantheon were present on Tyria, the change from one season to another would culminate in a battle between Dwayna and Grenth. This cosmic battle, which took place on the site of Old Lion's Arch long ago, was the catalyst for the shifting climate. Even in the lands of Ilona, which don't receive snow, the darkest nights of Grenth's month are marked by his priests. Despite the connotation of a fight between gods, these natural cycles are themselves neither good nor evil. They're part of the way the world functions. In later centuries, long after the Six went silent, many of these traditions were practiced and remain in the present year. For a long time, the center of these festivities remained Lion's Arch. This, of course, was the case until the Battle of Lion's Arch and the time of rebuilding in 1328 AE. Wintersday celebrations now begin in Divinity's Reach and stretch outward. While many of the old traditions remain, many new ones have come to be as the world and its people change and grow. While Divinity's Reach represents the center of the Wintersday festivities, visitors come from every corner of the continents to participate. All are welcome, and members of just about every species can be found celebrating in their own way. Among the most anticipated sights to see is the Infiniarium, the massive golem-shaped airship belonging to toymaker Tix, the Asuran genius who brings the spirit of Wintersday to life. The Infiniarium floats above the Crown Pavilion in Divinity's Reach and is accessible by a special portal swirling with red and white candy colors. The Infiniarium itself contains many wonders, including a massive model village filled with dangers to investigate and test oneself against. Okay, well, it's mostly just script, but still. A teleporter will take you atop the spinning structure high above the village, seemingly a device that both powers and controls the wondrous airship. Golems patrol the rings and balconies up here and keep everything functioning within acceptable parameters. Throughout the massive structure, workshops filled with presents and toys are ready to be sent out to the people of Tyria. While in the Infiniarium, you can pick up and deliver presents to the princess dolls and perform other duties to help Tix out with production and distribution of toys. Tix is, as his title suggests, a toy maker, and is assisted by his golem, Tox. Tix flew the Infiniarium to Cantha to aid the commander and allied forces in the fight against Suwan. Down in the city proper, Tix's wrapped presents are delivered by Dolyak. You may be called upon to defend the creature and its precious cargo from attacking Skrit. You'll have to use the snowballs laying around to interrupt them. Nothing else seems to do the trick. You'll get some presents of your own that you can unwrap, as well as some that can be delivered to those in need. More on that later. In fact, there are all kinds of ways to get your hands on some festive loot. Presents. You'll also have a chance to make use of the magic snow to build cool-looking snowmen and to pick up snowballs to throw at defenseless children. For fun. Seriously though, the snowball fights are all the rage. There are other events taking place in the city as well as abroad, such as the mysterious presents which appear across the world as if dropped from the sky. Finding them gets you tons of loot, usually including snowflakes, which can be traded to various Wintersday vendors. Snowflakes are the Wintersday currency. You'll find festive folks throughout the Crown Pavilion willing to usher you into various events, such as Snowball Mayhem, in which you and a team attempt to defeat other teams attempting to be the first to gain a number of points by picking up gifts and returning them to your base. You'll be fighting the other team as well, so be on the lookout. You might enjoy the Winter Wonderland jumping puzzle, transportation to which can be found in the pavilion as well. Or you can join the Bell Choir, where you and several others have to keep the rhythm of the music correctly. Do it right, and you'll be rewarded. Of course, what would any festival in Tyria be without an appearance by Drubert's ghost? I've discussed Drubert before, and here he's up to his old tricks, as usual. Stationed on the northern side of the Crown Pavilion, he'll ask for a donation of seasonal currency, in this case snowflakes. You can give them to him if you wish, for the achievement, but he's not going to give you much else in exchange. He only ever really helps you out during the Festival of the Four Winds, which I've covered previously, by selling goods of questionable value. Still, it's hard to see the poor guy down on his luck. It might be nice to give him a handout from time to time, just to lighten his spirits. Drubert's not the only seeker after charity on Wintersday, though, and in fact, there are others who might be very deserving of your time. You're likely to receive a letter in your mailbox, begging for help from an orphan Lane, an orphan child down on his luck. He and his fellow orphans seem to be having a really bad time, and could use a hand. Their letter to you asks that you meet Lane at your home instance to begin the quest. Their Wintersday ornaments were stolen from them by a creature called Gronk, a nasty Grawl who took them from the Queen's Heart Orphanage in Divinity's Reach. By feeding Gronk a series of special dishes over the course of several days, he'll grant you a special item that will unlock a further quest, allowing you to find the ornaments he stole and hid around the world. Once you've dealt with the Grawl, you can begin your search. There are chests located in mini-dungeons at the ends of jumping puzzles, which will contain the items you're looking for. There are 6 items to find, and once you do, the orphans will be so pleased, they'll give you a special Christmas tree note for your home, as well as the Star of Gratitude, a handy item if you keep picking up Imperial fragments and have nowhere to put them. Speaking of achievements, there are tons to get for Wintersday. Starting with the Yay Wintersday Presents achievement, opening your first 4 presents will grant you another as a reward. They aren't all that easy though. Among them is another way to help out the poor orphans. After purchasing wrapped gifts from the vendor, you can distribute them to orphans around the city to bring Wintersday cheer to their poor souls. So many of these achievements and activities are based around donating gifts and goods to others. This seems to be the true spirit of Wintersday, as it is here in our own world, something worth remembering. Of course, there are various races and other events to take part in. Associated achievements will reward you with presents and karma. Drubert's achievement, which you get after donating 1,000 snowflakes to him, will get you some gifts too. And of course, there are many other cool items up for grabs if you have the time for all these achievements. Of course, there's more to Wintersday besides giving gifts, playing in the snow, and making music. There's also getting tons of cool stuff, and the drinking, of course. And eating. There are tons of amazing Wintersday foods to feast on, from cakes and cookies and pies, warm spiced cider to take the chill from your bones, and eggnog to make you forget there's a chill in your bones. There's also the decorating. Def Lahar came up from the lowlands to sell some special wares for your homestead. There are collections of decoration recipes they'll sell you to spruce up your homestead for the season, or, forever if you really like being in the spirit. There are tons of cool weapon skins and all kinds of cool stuff to get as well from the vendors around the pavilion. They'll sell you these for snowflakes, or karma, or gold, or all of those. Don't forget to check in. There's something new every year. There's so much stuff to do on Wintersday. I've only discussed a little bit of it here. It all started millennia ago with the fight between 2 of the 6 human gods, fighting to bring the forces of their domain into ascendance. The people of Tyria have built their traditions around these themes and turned them into a festival which celebrates the changing of the seasons, as well as the themes of kindness and giving. Every year there's something a little different, but the spirit of hope and care remains strong, as they always do throughout the hardest of times. Tyria may have outlasted the struggle of the gods, or maybe they'll return one day and things will be different. Who can say for sure? Things change all the time, as anyone who's witnessed the changing of the dragon cycle can attest. As long as there's a winter, there'll be a Wintersday, in some form or another. That's certain. As certain as the fact that while there are heroes still alive to fight and help and give, there'll always be good in the world. So get some warm clothes on so you don't catch your death, at least not from weather. It would be embarrassing to die of hypothermia when everyone else is falling heroically in battle against titans and dragon minions. Anyway, get your winter gear on and ready your giving spirit. The snow's falling and it's time to start ushering in the new season. So I'll see you guys in the season of the Zephyr. Well, that's Wintersday on Tyria for you. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate everyone who does, especially if you stick around to the end. So, if you liked the video, please hit like, and if you really liked it, hit subscribe. If you want to discuss the topic, I think I missed anything, let me know in the comments down below. Oh, And before you go, I want to give a shout out to my patrons who help support the channel. Our $10 patrons watch Suki at the artisan level. Head on over and sign up for some extra videos I don't put on the channel. It'd help me out a lot. And remember, watch where you step. It's either really icy or you're going to step in some Doliac poop. Alright, thanks everyone. Bye, Internet.